My name is Stefan Brigati, and I've been investigating the paranormal for over 30 years. Come along with me and my team as we take a journey into the unknown. This is my darkest hour.
Hello there, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of My Darkest Hour. Want to say hello to you. Hope you guys are all doing well. Hope you guys are getting out there and doing some great paranormal and investigative work, or just getting out there and enjoying the nice weather that we're having. Those 4 days of heat was pretty brutal, but hey, we got through it. You know, uh, it is what it is. You know, we got to enjoy the best while we can. Get out there and have some fun. Of course, with me today is my co-host Abby. She's always down to have some fun and wanted to make sure she was part of this broadcast. So, moving along, one of the things that I've been talking about on the show for many years now is a thing that I'm involved with, and this is something very special to me. And this is the University Magicus, or we refer to it as Magic U. That's right. Magic University is a place where we all kind of come together as teachers and those who have a lot of experience to share our knowledge, our experience with others that want to learn more. And in a lot of ways, if you can imagine, with the Harry Potter series, you know, the school they go to, the university, and which is great because some of those shows are showing stuff like that. You know, all these different universities of magic and stuff. I've been seeing a lot. So this is an actual real school of magic, so to speak. So this is a place where contemporary and ancient wisdom come together in a safe and nurturing atmosphere. It's a place where students can study, learn, create at their own path. Whatever you want to do, all the pieces are there. All the teachers are there to give you advice. We're not just teachers, we're counselors as well. Tell us where you want to go, what you want to do. We'll try to help you get there. So, starting off talking about the University Magicus, I wanted to bring on the person that's pretty much in charge of all this stuff. He's put so much work into this, which is absolutely amazing. He travels around a lot. He's a world-renowned paranormal investigator as well. He gets involved with a lot of things, but a lot of the dream of this university comes from my guest, Nicholas Bonanni. Sorry, Nicholas Bonanni. I hope I'm saying that right. So let's go ahead and bring him on the show and get him here, and let's find out a little bit more about the University Magic.
Thank you, Stefan, and thank you, everyone. Thank you for having me today. Yes, we have been a few years now with the school. Has been growing, has been surprisingly growing in a certain sense. We first started, back in 2020, just with a live on Instagram, and today we are here. Nobody could guess, like it was just a dream at the end, no? And
Absolutely. It's a great dream to come true for so many people.
yes, it's the best part was that our older students that now today are teachers. So we have been growing together, and I don't mean just the school itself. I mean even people. We have seen them going through. We talk about personal things every day. We are a big community now with hundreds of people, and it's part of our lives in a certain sense. I cannot imagine a day without getting a message about Magic U.
That's a good thing. That means that, the need has been out there for a long time. We see all these different communities that we're all part of, and we see different little cliques going on, but nothing really uniting all these people to come together to share these wonderful talents that they have. And I think in a lot of ways, in a lot of the classes that I teach, my students are talking about that all the time. They're always saying, this is great because I learned this in this class, and that relates to what you're talking about over here. And I'm like, exactly. It depends on what your dream is. All these teachers are here to help you, and everyone comes together to learn that journey.
Absolutely, and it's been good to meet different cultures as well. We have, for example, you from the US. So I can say another name, for example, Rafael from Brazil, and it's been fun to meet different cultures, to meet different spirits at the same time, because everyone in their own country they investigate in their own way. I'll talk since like when you see paranormal, you always think about the US, no? With all the programs, streaming platforms. But at the same time, there are smaller parts of the world, like Italy in this case, where we are not listened in a certain sense. Nobody really cares about paranormal. It's a very religious country and less open-minded in a certain sense. And
Oh yeah.
when I failed, I wanted to do this when I was only 16, and in Italy, nobody really wanted. And back in during the pandemic, we were all at home, and I just sent a message to Patty. Okay, just like let's do a live, and then from that live, a lot of people started to come along, talking about a few thousand followers, and
Wow.
we became a community. Some people, of course, after the life started again, are not coming to our classes anymore, or wherever. We are still in touch, and on the daily, and the people that come to the classes as well, we talk every day. We have a group, as you know, and the school itself, I think it's gonna be going on for years, and we see every single week something different, which is not easy. There is a lot of work behind, and I can see, however, here on the various logos, Paraflix as well. Paraflix as well, it's something which is connected to our community, as some of our students and our teachers are streaming on that platform. For the people that don't know, Paraflix, we can consider it the Netflix of the paranormal. And if you have time to check it out, I would definitely do it. And
Yeah. Make sure you check that out. Now, I tell you guys all the time, I'm on Paraflix, Patty's on Paraflix, everybody's on Paraflix. So come join us. Paranormal, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Everything you're looking for is right there. So come on and join us.
And Magic Q itself, it's like a transformation in something better, of course. That was the Haunted Diary. The Haunted Diary was, as mentioned, something that started as a joke in a certain sense, because we didn't. Nobody expected like to have many people. I remember the first sold out event, and then after that came other 150 sold out events. Then after a year, we started with Patty and Sebastian. Magic U. The beginning was called University Magicus. Today we call it University Magicus and Magic U. And but it's still always us. And we study. We have all kinds of communities. We have witches, we have vampires, and we even have people that follow different path, which is away from magic, which is something amazing. And the one of the funniest parts was when we had bishops doing classes with Satanists going on inside, and it was more like a good conversation always to hear. And I always watch the recordings, because I know that me, like many other people back they are in the UK, and UK, or in this case Iceland, and we all have different times, which is the night time for us, and always good to listen to the recordings.
Yeah, if you can't catch the class, you always get the recording, which is amazing. Because I know a lot of people sign up and then you don't see them in the class, and then you're like, oh, okay, they're doing the recording. And when I started doing live radio, and I started seeing the numbers during the live portions of me doing my live stream, it was okay. I got some good ratings, but then 3 days later, my ratings would jump, and I was trying to understand that. How is that happening? They're like, well, you're live at night on Thursday night, so everybody who's listening to you is playing you on the weekend when they're at home cleaning the house or doing something. So I'm like, oh, that makes sense. So everybody gets the opportunity to go back to class. And if you miss something during the class, you can always go ahead and click that link and replay the class to get all the information. And plus, we put notes in there, so you get a copy of all the notes, you get a copy of all the videos, whatever we're doing, you get copies of all that. So it's definitely a great thing because you get all that stuff. It's not just not signing up for a class and away it goes into the mystery land. It's like, hey, I've got a copy of this class. I can put it in my computer archives, and that's why we build courses, because we're going to take you from a beginner of something. We're going to go through the years of our experience with you and help you get to that next level. And that's the most important part with bringing everyone together.
Yeah, and it's very good because if you're you want to start investigating, or maybe you are someone that has been doing it for a lot of years already, you can always get something inside. You can always learn something new, and I do learn something new every day as well, which is something amazing. Meeting new people every day. What I like about the school is that about this job, which is managing it together with Patty and Father Sebastian. It's that you never know what happens every day, and that's the best part. Meeting new people, seeing new topics as well, learning a new culture, new way of seeing the paranormal, because not everyone sees the paranormal in the same way. Okay, the word paranormal itself, you can have your own interpretation. You know what I mean? So you can see the paranormal from a religious perspective, from a witch perspective. Some people try to explain it by science, and some people try to explain it directly from magic in a certain sense. And then there are investigators that try to be in between. An investigator doesn't need to be, for example, a Christian, doesn't need to be a witch neither. This is the way I see it. For example, you can always just try and see and do your own theory. When you see something, maybe if you go to the same place 3-4 times, and you go the first time, for example, I would go with Stefan, I would see an evidence on video that I wouldn't see maybe with Patty. If I would go with Patty, I would maybe feel something inside myself, because I know she uses less technology and compared to someone like you in this case. And it's always a good part. The good part of learning it this way is that you can see more ways of doing it, and the school gives that kind of direction. Small example: a lot of people tell me, why do you repeat the same topic? It's not that I repeat the same topic. I repeat the same topic with different teachers, because you should do that way in 3-4 different ways and learn. And then you learn the one that you want to learn, and then you make it yours. You can personalize it, because it doesn't mean that you just have to follow someone doing it in a certain way. Maybe you can start that way and then do your own thing. And I remember when we started the school, a lot of people were telling me, don't do this way, don't do it this way, because not many people were doing it. And but at the same time, I see that it's working well. People are happy. At least this is what they tell me. So, and if they've been here for 4 years now, it's not a case. Probably they are. And 4 years, however, they look like a day. It seems a day. So, and
Yeah, that's good. I think the variety is the best part of it. And, and it's like you got these different teachers talking about a certain subject from different perspectives. That's the best way to do it, because that's what I've done with all my years of experience. I've learned different things. And there's something that I really enjoy. I'll take that knowledge, and not take everything I learned about, but this one thing that stood out to me. I'm like, yeah, that's really cool. And I'll put that in my little magic bag. And then I'll learn something else from this guy over here. I'm like, oh, I never even thought about that. Well, that's really cool. That makes it easier. So I'll take that knowledge and put that in my magic bag. And once again, like we're talking about, where we're tailoring things for our needs, what we're looking for, the direction we want to do. Because it's not like in TV where you're just seeing this person doing this, or this one person doing that, or that person's just doing this. It's like, as we're evolving in the field, it's shifting, it's growing. So all these things are intertwining, and I think that with something like with Magic U gives everybody that advantage to go to. Well, I don't know where to start. Well, go to Magic U and look at the teachers and what they're showing there. Look at the courses. Does that sound interesting to you? Oh yeah, I've heard about that. That's interesting. Oh, sign up for a class. Get some of that information. Start building your own magic bag for whatever your dream is. And it's in Magic Universities just going to help you with that decision to help you grow. So I definitely recommend everyone to go to the link and check it out.
Yeah, one more thing that I was surprised is that when I first started the paranormal, I tell you honestly, I don't hide it. I couldn't afford to do paranormal classes. I had to be careful even on spending $10. Most part of the paranormal classes I used to sign up were like $40, $50, and at the
Oh
time I
wow.
couldn't. And but in Magic U, imagine that you can get for $15 two classes. So this one makes it very affordable for people that cannot do it. And everyone works. We work a lot, and it was bad back for me in a few years ago, where I couldn't go. And creating this school, first of all, allowed me to learn as well, because again, I do watch all classes, and learning every day it's fun, and seeing people that I do get messages. Recently, I got other two telling me like, I live this way because I have difficult conditions, economical conditions, or whatever. Thanks, for the fees, the small fees we offer to people to join our community. They've been able to come and learn the paranormal. We are gonna be looking as well to make live events. I know that they were planning already to do Iceland, where I'm based at the moment.
Awesome.
And I think Iceland, it's one of the most beautiful places to visit and to investigate. And because it's not a place where you would go and say, okay, I'm going on investigation. Okay, that's perfect. I respect it. However, there is something which is starting now. I can see already there is a radio. Of course, I'm not going to say the name, not to do advertising. There is a radio in Iceland which is talking always about paranormal, and I do see already a couple of shops opening with crystals, tarot, and this is not usual. Try to understand. Iceland is a small country, okay, very small. Very concentrated in a few centers like Reykjavik, which is where I live, and seeing people that start to get interest in the paranormal, it's amazing. And we are looking as well through this radio that I'm trying to get together with the school. I can give this spoiler, and nobody knew about this. I'm trying to get them together with us so that we can do this small collaboration between Iceland and US. And I think it's gonna be fun because historically, Icelandic people and American people have been always together. Even now, most part of people visiting Iceland are from US, for the simple reason as well that we are only 3 hours, 4 hours away, something like that. And but at the same time, very different cultures. And they do see the paranormal in two different ways. I can tell you this, and so it's gonna be fun to see how they're gonna get along.
That sounds exciting. When is that going to start happening? When can people start looking for something like that?
Well, I cannot say much. It's still on the going. Yesterday, I had the first official talk with a local radio.
Cool.
And let's see what we can do. It's not easy again, and I know that Icelandic people are more into like a big community, and everything they do so far, they've been doing it so far, it's been in Icelandic. So even transforming the same thing from Icelandic to English, it's not going to be easy. Because I know, me too, English is not my first language, and I can admit it's not easy to do something. But at the same time, I know the most part of them, they do speak English. So we are gonna be able to try and do something.
Oh, that's great. Is there any like historical places out there in Iceland, which I'm sure there are, that people would want to try to check out? I mean, I could just imagine how great that is. And it's not super populated like a lot of the cities out here and stuff. So it's probably nicer. It's probably a lot more taken care of, much better. I mean, what
Well,
kind of things people look for?
there are a few places they are not advertised as such. Give you a small example. Closer to me, there is the whole presidential house. That one, it's one of the most haunted places. Then there is Oxarafos, which is close by here. There is something which is known as Golden Circle, and everyone goes to this national park, which is called Thingvellir. I'm saying it in English way, so everyone can just write the word. And at the end of this park, there is a small waterfall that everyone goes, but they don't know, for example, that in this waterfall, if you were a witch, uh, they were gonna they were going to kill you inside there. So I
Oh,
can
wow.
tell you there is a lot of energy. They, when they were checking if they were draining or not, just to check if they were witches. This is one of these places, and they killed so many people, so many girls inside there. So there is a lot of energy over there, but at the same time, it's not advertised because they have no interest in doing it. Okay, so what my project is, it's to make Iceland in a certain way, like American. I'm talking the paranormal way, of course. Okay, so this is a project which I don't know if it's gonna be successful or not, but nobody has tried it before, and at least I would say that I tried it.
Yeah, exactly. No one's ever done anything, and what do you got to lose? And if you start, it's just going to start growing in different directions, whatever it is. You always put that dream forward, but then it takes on a whole life of its own, and you just kind of stand back and watch it just grow. And I think this might be that kind of opportunity for something like that, because being a paranormal investigator, I'm thinking about all these great places, but when I think of Iceland, I'm like, you don't think of like castles or whatever, because everyone's got different places. Like everyone says, go to Scotland. No one's thinking I'm going to go to a haunted house in Scotland. Everyone goes, oh, I'm going to go check out a castle or something, something like that. Or I'm going to go to Gettysburg. No one's thinking about houses. They're thinking about I'm going to go to a battlefield. It's like no, there's so much more. And with Iceland, it's been very historic place. I mean, there must be so many different kinds of cultures that have come there, from even the Vikings over in Europe coming over and landing on Iceland. It's like, wow, there's a lot of history.
Imagine that in the there is one place in Iceland which is all haunted, which is the sky. It's strongly connected, the Northern Lights to the paranormal world as per the Vikings, and they
Oh,
always had this strong belief. It's like a bridge for them. I'm talking, of course. There is, for example, one of the biggest battles was fought where there is the pond today that a lot of tourists go just to throw food at the ducks. Okay, that one was one of the biggest battlefields, and if you go there during the night, and I can tell you because I work in the night and I live during the night only, there is energy that you can feel, and of course you can only feel this kind of energies when there are no people, when Icelandic people, they are connected to the paranormal, even if they does not mean it, because they are their Vikings DNA is still inside. They still have, when you go to the stadium, okay, to watch soccer ball, like you call it in the US. They still do this Viking thing, like touching here the chest, and
mm-hmm.
they
Yeah,
still do it, but they don't realize it,
sure.
that it's so connected. So when something becomes automatic, you don't realize it anymore. However, coming from outside and seeing it from a different perspective, I can tell you that there is something, and the job that I would like to do in this country, it's to bring it up, to make them realize, oh, maybe we lost this during the years, maybe we have to relive it, maybe we have to enjoy the paranormal. And again, I think that Americans and Icelandic people, it's gonna be fun to see them working together, And I don't say difficult, very difficult, but not impossible. I will tell you in a couple of months.
Well, cool. Well, looking forward to that. So make sure you let us know when that's happening, and when you get the show going, we'll bring you back on and we'll talk about it. We'll put that information out there for people to check it out as well. That'd be great.
Of course, and again, they already have a radio with a few thousands people, and trust me, here to get 10,000 people in a country like this, it's like getting I don't know 200,000, 300,000 in the US. Again, it's very small country, and most part of people they do talk in English. However, if you go and talk with the older people, they normally talk with you in Icelandic, which is not easy for me. you know, it's I can understand something, I admit it, but I cannot answer that, and I wouldn't be able to. I don't
Do
think
you do you use any translator or anything like Google Translate? I see people doing that a lot now.
Well, a lot of. I tell you honestly, some old people they don't even know what is Google Translate.
Oh yeah,
So yeah,
they're
so
all
they don't know
cell
English.
phone.
They
What's a
don't
cell
know.
phone? Yeah,
They just tell you like, okay, ciao. They just walk away sometimes. When you are on your 80s and you don't even, they still have the old phones, the $30 phone that you
yeah,
you just click and they work, and they
yeah,
have their battery lasting for 2 weeks.
yeah. They're not taking pictures or streaming video or at all. So, and they're not on social media. They don't even understand what that is. They're like, what?
No, definitely they don't have.
Oh, that's funny.
But
So
hmm?
cool. I said, cool. That sounds good.
Yeah, and it's been always like this part of Europe. It's been always interesting in a certain way. Even it's very touristic, but doesn't exist the paranormal one. No, people come here to investigate, like you were mentioning, Scotland. I was living in Jersey, in the UK. Jersey, UK was one of the most haunted places for me in the world that I visited. However, people don't talk about it. The most haunted place where my passion started was the war tunnels. It was a very old hospital back
Mm,
in World War II, and and I was living in the center in St. Helier, and I was working in an hotel which was a HQ back here always in World War II. And where people, I remember I was duty manager there, and we had to check things around. I remember I used to go to check in the spa, check that everything was fine. I was shitting myself. Can I say that? Or it's
Oh yeah, yeah. It's independent. You can say whatever you want.
okay, and because you could feel this cold there. I didn't know at the beginning, and something very bad, and then I found out it was a prison. So when you were in this HQ, and downstairs there were the prisons. Now today people go for manicure and pedicure, so you can see time change. The times can change, but still the spirits and everything is there. And I remember I was getting in a lot of troubles because then they passed me to night manager, and I remember we were doing training with this. I was training other team managers on some accounting stuff for the night, and I was telling them at a certain point, because of course it was boring. We the airport was closed. It was a small island. Why don't we just go for a ghost hunt? Like they call it this way. I call it more an investigation. They called it this ghost hunt. And they were, no, no, I don't believe in this. I don't believe in this. Okay, okay, let's go. Okay, and I never came anymore in the night. It was amazing. I have some videos still on my Instagram that I cannot
What
believe.
happened? Did they see something? Did they experience something?
Yeah, you could see you. I have these videos where you can see clearly these big shadows popping up, walking to the room. These big like conversations. There was this thing started not for a case. Okay, I remember before to become manager, I was working in reception and in the concierge. And this person comes and says, "Look, I've seen something tonight." And we go on TripAdvisor. Manager duties is to check TripAdvisor, and I see this review as well, which was there was a kid in my room. So I was like, what the fuck is happening here? And so I actually go to this room, spotting where he was staying, and I register this voice. So there is a kid voice talking with someone. After a few minutes, I lifted the camera, and you can see this big shadow man just passing in front of the camera. And when we shut the door, he said something like, that your blood becomes cold, and I don't remember really the word, but it's there. And then you could see this into the rooms where we have cameras, because I was putting my own cameras there, and then I got in trouble. So of course I had to stop doing it. And this big, how you call it, the orbs passing by, and of course for an hotel, it can be a good advertising, but it could be a bad one too.
Yeah,
And
depending who's trying to stay there. Yeah.
no, but the funny part that this company, of course, I'm not saying names not to get sued, and they own Ettington Park. Ettington Park. It's one of the most haunted places in the world. But they advertise Ettington Park, but they don't advertise this other hotel, which is crazy because this one is more haunted than the Ettington Park, 25,000
Wow.
25 times more. But people don't go to investigate there. The war tunnels is the best investigation you can do in your life. They don't go there.
That's got to be amazing. The
Yeah,
energy that's held in there, and whether it's residual or conscience. I mean, we know a lot of the battlefields and stuff, and people were going through all that stuff, so they're still reliving that, still enacting some of that stuff. So maybe those soldiers are still in those tunnels. I mean,
they
who
are.
knows? There's no think, it makes a lot of sense.
They do talk with you, and not only me. A few people recorded the words, two words, very easy. Turn off. So when you go inside the war tunnels, you will see normally. You can see a lady sometimes walking, and I took this video where you go inside this thing. I remember I saw this girl going in, and of course she disappeared. And I have my phone on, and you can hear turn off. I go on the newspaper, and after a few years, I still see people saying, "Oh, someone said turn off," but she always answers in, when you put on a phone, so she understands when you have a phone on. So it can be a residual on, but I don't think so. In a sense that inside those tunnels there is no signal, so you cannot re-register much on live. That's why I didn't go live. But the residual, of course, it's her moving. I don't doubt it because everyone sees the same movement. But the fact that when you switch on a phone, she says turn off, I think she's understanding what is happening around.
Huh? I wonder why she doesn't want the phone on. Maybe it's because the signal coming to the phone is creating a disturbance in the field of energy. That's a possibility. Or is it maybe she wants you to pay more attention to what's going on around you instead of being on your phone, which is
Well,
cool. I mean, it's an intelligent haunting. They know what people do when they come there to visit, so they're just like, no, we're not doing that right now. It's not time for photos. We're working, that kind of stuff.
yeah, I
That's
mean, the phone battery dies, as it happens in many cases, because they have to use energy. But at the same time, the turn off and the battery dying, it's not easy, mostly because, getting around the tunnel, it's a bit of a long way. So when you want to go out and come back, there are all the security guards there, and you cannot tell them, look, I'm just doing an investigation without asking you. It's not very funny. I don't think how they will take it well.
yeah. That's interesting. But that sounds amazing. What a great place. And that was in Jersey.
Jersey, UK. Yes.
Yeah.
You have the New Jersey. This is the
And we have
old
the
one.
new one. It's not so new anymore, but they said it's new.
Yeah, this is you have the updated version. I have the old version, but
Yeah.
it was still a great place to live. Of course, I had to live there because of the Brexit. But still one of the best places to be in, and I have been there on holiday again.
Nice.
But definitely for an investigation, I would be up to. But as all the small centers, it's not easy to convince them to open you something just for that, because they are
Yeah.
still, it's a very old population. We're talking 80 plus years old people, average. So it's a very expensive place to live. I think it's been nominated the most expensive place in the world.
Wow.
Yeah, so young people don't really go there much. So I remember it was quite tough at the beginning to live there. But of course, it's a place that gives you a lot of chances. And my chance was the paranormal, because it all started there. I quitted my job back when I had the Wanted Diary during the pandemic. I'm talking, because everyone, was at home. Everyone was connected. You were putting a class, you had 100 people signing up in 5 minutes, not more than. At 10 minutes, I never arrived, but it was quite an adventure. I'm happy that is ended, of course, but I was sad because imagine that you are for 2 years with all these people, and then 1/10 of them remained until the end of the Haunted Diary. But then I'm happy again because if it wasn't for that, Magic U wouldn't exist. And Magic U
Exactly.
was an idea of Father Sebastian and Patti, because they have more experience than me. Haunted Diary was a good place for work, a good place for everything, but at the same time, we need to grow in a certain way, because I don't have experience in this field. Patti and Sebastian, they do have a lot of experience, so they are growing up the school together with you and the others. I am more in the backside, like managing Zoom, accounting stuff, all the boring part of the paranormal. In fact,
All the
neither
important stuff. Yeah.
yeah, I need a spirit accountant. I never found a spirit accountant.
Well, someone's got to do it. You do a pretty good job of it, so because we're still here, so that's amazing.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I was surprised because when I was telling to Patti and Sebastian a few days ago, like when we started, there were so many schools, so many. I remember so many teachers leaving because they were going to the schools, they were getting, they were there for a few time, they were getting bigger offers. But at the same time, I see all the schools now have disappeared, and everyone is coming back. So it means that our community way of seeing the paranormal and seeing the school and seeing pretty much everything has been working very well. We still have to learn from bigger companies, but at the same time, I feel like so many other people have to learn from us. Because if we have the same students for 4 years and the same teachers for 4 years, and the ones that actually left came back, it means we have been doing a good job. But I do understand the fact that at the beginning there was not much trust, because it was a different way of managing, very different one.
Yeah.
Uh, I give you a small example. In the US, you guys have this thing that the manager has to be there, check everything, working 24 hours. I know how it works there. But here, no. Here, the manager gives you complete freedom. I don't see, you never see me, because you work like do this, do this, do this. For me, it doesn't exist. Because I think people with freedom, generally, there is this idea that if you give a lot of freedom, you don't care. Here is the opposite. I give, Patti gives, Father Sebastian gives a lot of freedom, because giving freedom to people gives them the chance to express their own potential. Some people cannot express their potential in other schools, because if they do a mistake, they get cut it out. Here, when you do a mistake, when you start and you've been here, well, for a few years, but in the field for like 25 times more the school, and when you start at the beginning, it's not easy to find people that give you a chance. Because if you do a mistake, they may cut you out. For me, if you do a mistake, you're doing a perfect job. If you do everything perfect, you're just lucky, because you have to do a mistake. Otherwise, you're not gonna learn. So that's the way I see a management, the way I see a school, and I'm happy that we partner with Sebastian and Patti, because I see that they live, like I was saying, freedom. There is we see, I think, the school in the same way, and we don't feel like there is no boss inside the school. Everyone is at the same level. Everyone has the same opportunity. Students that can become teachers, for example, we have so many. And Nicole, I think it's the one of the most popular ones inside. She was a student, and I remember in a class she was like, "Oh, but I do crystals," and I was like, "Okay, let's start together." And it all started this way. It's like a chat, nothing formal. We have never done anything formal, which is quite surprising. In I know that you guys in the US have a lot of bureaucracy, for example. Here in Iceland does not exist this. Everything it's very, like light, relaxing. And let's see how the school is gonna be in the next few years. But I think it's growing on the daily, and I would like to keep it this way because I wouldn't change anything, and I'm sure that Patty and Sebastian wouldn't change a single thing. I see them enjoying it a lot. Now, Father Sebastian is working with a new one, which is Joy. She just started, but I do like her a lot.
Yeah,
And
I'm friends with Joy. We
you
hang
know,
out here. We're part of the whole vampire thing.
okay. So she's a very good one. I really
Yeah.
like her. I don't know. She's
Uh,
gonna be thinking on her own very soon as well.
cool. She's great. She's very organized. She knows when she has an idea about something, she pretty much has it already planned out in her head how she's going to go attack it and do it. So I really like that about her. She gets a lot of stuff done. She does a lot of the vampire balls that we do, and she's like the organizer. And I'm thinking, oh, what do I got to do? All I got to do is show up because everything's done. So it's like, wow, okay. So she's just great to work with, and great attitude too. Gives off a lot of good energy with her.
Yeah, I see her like very independent. She's very like this works this way. Like it's not someone that you have to tell her what to do. She just knows. And research very quick. She does. I can see she sends classes in a very easy way. You ask her, "Can you give me a class?" After 2 seconds, you have 25 classes. So let's see how it's gonna be in the future. But I do see at least the beginning. What I've seen now has been only 2 weeks working together. But in my opinion, it's a great one, very great, and I'm happy that we are working together with a new one. Which is Dagre Stoker. Dagre Stoker it doesn't need any presentation, I believe. And Dagre, it's amazing. It's one of the most humble people that I've seen that I work with. And Dagre, it's been really a good ad. So I'm happy. Let's see who else is coming. I know that is coming another person, which is called Ada. But I'm not sure what's if she wants me to use her name or artistic name. she's known
Oh,
she's known for Netflix. So let's see when she sends me everything the way I should call her.
yeah,
you
her
know,
official publication name, of course.
yeah, I am not sure. I have to be honest because when they contact me via number, and I only can see their number. So maybe they text me and it's written Stefan, it's written Ada, it's written I don't know
Yeah,
Jeremiah. So I don't know.
just whatever you know them by. Perfect.
Yeah, I will ask them later. Plus, I don't remember all the artistic names. I can tell you, every single person that works in the school, they all have a different name. So I have to remember the name they use in the school and the name they use in the documents and the name they use outside for friends. It's impossible.
Yeah, that's a lot, But your basic contacts, what you know them by, so you refer to them by that until they tell you different. It's like, oh, okay, which makes
Yeah,
a lot of
they change name on the daily, so I'm not sure how it works.
sense. All right, so we got about 15 minutes left. All of your years being involved with the paranormal, what is the most intense experience that you can probably put to date? I know you were just talking about Jersey and a lot of things happening, but like, what is the thing that just blew your mind when you're doing something paranormal?
Well, like I was telling you, I failed. This is my second attempt of working in the paranormal. The first one just failed. That was in Italy. Okay, I remember with this. I was watching when when I was young. I was watching Ghost Adventures, the very first episodes. I'm talking about 10 years ago, and with these friends that we were watching this program together, and we just went on an investigation. And I remember we had this we didn't have this big technology there is today. Okay, they didn't exist. So we went to this abandoned house and haunted house, which is in Neptune, which is a city very close to my house. And I remember that I still have videos on my Instagram. Everything that I'm saying, it's been recorded on video and it's been recorded, with sound. So we remember going into this house, we felt like very bad things, and then we started to record like rocks flying, and my friend got pulled from the shirt, and I remember very big steps. Then these voices, people screaming inside the house, orbs everywhere, like behind our heads. And we were all like dreaming the same stuff. We were all like hearing the same stuff, like at the same moment these voices inside our heads. Like it's not that you hear it from the ears, you hear it from your head sometimes.
Mm.
And it's different. Like when you go with a medium, they do hear things in their heads, but for an investigator it's not easy to hear, like a medium does. And none of us really believed in ghosts, like we call it in Italy at the time, except me. And all my friends will went back a few times until we stopped, because like I was telling you, in Italy nobody really believed in these things. And going against the church, our families were not happy about it neither. So when I told to my family I want to do this as a job, and I remember the haunted diary. I quit. I was manager, like I told you at the time. I quitted my job, and I remember during the pandemic, I used to get 4 to 5 times the salary I was getting, and nobody,
Mm.
neither me, I could believe it. Of course, now it's not anymore like before, because businesses are open, everyone is out. But starting to work in the paranormal for an Italian, where they teach you like don't bother the spirits, don't bother the people, don't bother anyone, because otherwise you die, you get cursed. Yeah,
Yeah.
everything. This,
Don't make it mad. It's gonna come back for revenge. That kind of stuff.
yeah, I mean, but as you know, there are some spirits that just want to talk, not in a bad way. So,
Most of them.
and I remember there is my uncle. When I told him what I do, he was like, "Oh no, you didn't see anything." I was like, "Shut the fuck up! I know what I'm doing." So yeah, I mean, still, I have parts of my family that don't agree with it. But hey, man, I mean, I have to pay my bill somehow. And second, I do like what I do. I think most part of investigators, you don't do this job for money. Okay, nobody really does. I didn't even expect to make money at the beginning when I started. Actually, I was spending, because I don't know, maybe I was making $2,000. It's just an example, and I was spending $2,000 in equipment, because you have to buy the camera, you have to buy the recorder, you have to buy the battery. Then I was making other thousand. Then maybe comes the new model of camera, so you have to sell this and buy the new one. So you were at the end spending everything. So it's just an excuse to keep buying the stuff, which is the best part for me, because there is, you enjoy, you do what you like, which is not easy nowadays to do what you like. And I hope that students in Magic Q now and in the future are going to be able to achieve that, because I see some people that have talent, but at the same time, uh, my personal advice is, when I know that a lot of them already have managers, but it's too early. A manager is not gonna it's going to help you at the beginning, but be careful, because you are your own boss, and nobody can should tell you what to do. Mostly because I remember I have a friend which is she's a famous singer, and she started to become popular in Italy, and she was offered a few money from this manager. And you know what happened? She was doing these concerts, and from small, stadiums, she started to go in bigger stadiums, but she was still making the same. So you know what happened? She was like, "No, I want more, I want more," and then everything stopped. So always follow what are
Mm.
your ideas, and don't let people tell you, oh no, because if you're our manager, if you're with me, you're gonna become famous. You don't have to do this for fame or for money. Just do it because you love it. And then if you make something for the end of the month, it's even better, so you can buy more equipment.
But you should definitely be yourself, especially if an artist of some kind, because you see these big artists, they go to a certain point and they get famous, and all of a sudden someone tries to change them or make them do something else, then it just falls apart. You should always just be yourself and let yourself grow. And if you can make money off just being yourself, then you won the game. I mean, that's what it's really all about, isn't it?
Yeah, then you don't do this job because it's not that you wake up one day and say, I want to be a paranormal investigator. I don't think
No.
it really works that way. Plus, at school, I don't think when they ask you what would you like to go when what do you like to do when you become an adult, you don't write I would like to chase ghosts around the world. Otherwise, they would call your family. That's how it works. That's how it works now, unfortunately. And you have to follow the community because there is a huge community, and some people are even scared to say because this thing of the religion it doesn't help much. Mostly in countries where Christianity, there is a strong how do you say in Christ the church doesn't want you to do this in a certain way. And if you come from a family that goes every Sunday to church, it's not easy to tell them, look, this is what I'm doing, just follow your dreams. And of course, don't go against your family, but try to make them respect what you're doing. And this is applies for all Italians as well, because trust me, there's so many Italians that want a chance and they will never get it.
Mm. Just got to be true to yourself. That's what the main goal is, what it's all about. Because
Yeah.
you are you. You're not somebody else. You're you. Be the best you can be, right? And
Plus,
that's
life.
part of the just, but it's even part of like the school. We're trying to help people, whatever their dreams are, to be better at whatever their dream is. Not telling them how to do it. You got to do it my way or else. It's like, no, this is how I do it. If you like the way I do it, you can tailor that and then make it something for you. Or if you can look at what I'm doing and have a better solution for it for you, then go for it. That's what we all come together for, to help each other out.
Yeah, that's the main thing, and being yourself as well. Nowadays, it's something that is not like guaranteed. So many people just say things because other people want to say things. I remember we contacted this guy, and he was like, "No, no, no, I cannot talk unless my manager is here." I'm like, "Come on, mate." You know what I mean? And of course, I couldn't say nothing because I want to stay professional, not saying names or anything. But I seeing people on their 20s that are already more than managers. I call them babysitters. Because they just I see so many talents wasted just because of that. How many times do you see singers doing two, three songs? They become so popular that they disappear forever because they are with this. They're not very. There are managers out there that know what they're doing, but however, there are so many managers out there. They just have money. Maybe because they got it from their family, grandpas, whatever, and they're trying to get talents. But once you get into a contract, you cannot escape. So, to the students, I would say, if you want to become a teacher or work in a TV or a radio host, just take it slow because I see people when they that have a bit more of talent compared to others, they immediately get popular because internet is a huge place now. You can get popular very easily, but then you have to handle it. And if you don't know how to handle it, that's a bad thing. And at the same time, now there are social media. It's everything more open.
Yeah,
It's
that's
I think
huge.
compared to when you guys started, like you, Pat and Sebastian, 40 years ago, you didn't have. Now you put a video, you do, I don't know, 100,000 views. Before it wasn't like this.
Yeah, it's amazing. It just gives you the power to reach people like you could never been able to do before. I could just post this video and then just watch the numbers go and go as it's being broadcast throughout the world. It's like, wow, it's amazing, man. People just tune into it and go with it, which is bringing the world together. It's a big world and it's getting smaller and smaller because we're able to reach each other now a lot easier, which is just an amazing thing.
Yeah, and it's a magic. It's magic in a certain way, no?
Yeah,
I would consider magic as well. There are because in a certain way, if you see, like, technology makes our life easier, but we do depend too much on it. I see this way, without certain. There are other ways of getting where you want to get, but at the same time, I think everyone has talent. Okay, however, there are some people that need more time to arrive at a certain point. Okay, there are some students. Maybe in 2 3 months are ready because they already have a good background and they can already apply for the teacher position. There are some students that I see after 2 years they are not ready yet. However, I do think that they will be ready one day. They just need more time. But at the end of the day, everyone is the same. You just need to believe in it sometimes, no? But don't believe in it too much, otherwise, it can turn against you.
yeah. Have confidence and believe in yourself and what you're trying to do, but don't lose sight of what you're trying to do. Don't let things distract you. Don't let things that you believe that aren't really happening just kind of blow it. Because a lot of people get it, they get when things start happening, they get caught up in these moments and they just start losing control of it. It starts derailing to the side or over here. It's like, wow, no, we gotta stay focused, be yourself, use the tools you need to help you be the best that you can do, and the world will notice that, and the world will flock to you. Just got to keep it real.
Yeah, plus imagine, like I told you, when I started, nobody would have believed it, and including my girlfriend. My girlfriend was like, "Why are you doing this? I'm scared." And I remember that we had these pets in the house, and we called two guys to go and check on our pets because they didn't believe in paranormal, luckily. And but then they started to come to our house, and then they started to believe in it. Because of course, I remember we used to do these lives, like rituals on Instagram, and on Instagram we had such a huge community. I miss those times. It's just now doing 3 4 jobs. It's not very easy to be behind everything. But maybe one
Fun.
day, maybe one day.
Maybe one day. Just got to keep pushing forward, and it'll happen. If you build it, they will come. And you built it, and they're coming. So you got to get ready for it. When it happens, you got to go with it.
I'll tell you honestly, my biggest dream is to work on Twitch, but
Cool. That'd be a
logging.
good one.
Huh?
That'd be a good one for sure.
Yeah, it would be amazing. Just finding time sometimes it's not very easy. But now, like with this new way in Iceland, like I'm working only 2 weeks a month. So I think working 2 weeks a month, I'm gonna have more time for myself and to dedicate to paranormal, to go to classes, to open
Yeah.
Twitch. I always wanted to open Twitch. So let's see how it goes. And more ahead, I
That's
will.
Well, all right. Thank you, Nick, for joining us and spending some time with us, talking to us about the school and what your plans are, where it came from, and the direction it's going. It sounds amazing. I feel very blessed to be a part of it. I get excited. I love my students. It's always so great to spend time with them and hear their stories, the things they're doing, and the other things they're interested in too as well. Because we always talk about the stuff, and I communicate with them in the chat and a lot of things, and we're we it's not just a school with teachers and students. It's a community and a family at the same time. So thanks for putting all that together and keeping us together and keeping it going. So I appreciate it.
Thanks to you guys. I mean, we are a community, so everyone does his own part, no? I'm just behind the scenes, but I'm still there.
Excellent. Well, thank you. I'm going to put you back into the green room. Don't go
Mhm.
anywhere. Because
Don't
when I
worry.
end the show, it has to finalize its thing. If you cut out too soon, it won't finalize. You won't get the link. So hold on.
Okay,
Thank you so
don't
much,
worry.
Nick. You can always find him, get more information from him by going to Magic U. That's MAGICKU.org. Learn about Nick himself. Learn about the teachers. Learn about the courses. Decide what you want to do, and come join us. And we're going to help you get there. Everything that we can to make that possible. So until then, you've been watching My Darkest Hour, and we will see you guys next time with another person from Magic University. So remember, make sure you check it out, and we'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much. And that's going to be it for today. So make sure you check it out. Go to the school. Let us know what you think in the comments below. If you want to see more stuff that has something that you guys are looking to do, let us know and we'll cover that. So we'll see you guys next time right here at My Darkest Hour.
My name is Stefan Brigati, and I've been investigating the paranormal for over 30 years. Come along with me and my team as we take a journey into the unknown. This is My Darkest Hour.